Hi there, this is Ira Weinstein with Recon Research, and I am thrilled today to be talking to two gentlemen in the middle of an acquisition that happened, I believe, went public just this morning. So I have Robbert Bakker, the CEO of Kinley, and I have Ed Cook, the CEO of AVMi. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
It's all good, Ira. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you, Ira.
Great to have you guys here. So let's start here. Robbert, can you please give us a 1-minute introduction of Kinley and what you guys are about?
Well, Ira, we are a global specialist in video collaboration. We basically do three things. Is one, we design, install, and maintain rooms for customers. We enable collaboration across those rooms or locations. And thirdly, we design new work streams, new workflows for customers based upon that video technology. And I think a good example of that is for the Ministry of Justice in the UK. We enabled them with fully digitized courtrooms. So in the midst of COVID-19, they're still able to do their work. And we're pretty proud of that. And next to that, we've developed multiple technologies to serve customers better. And as of today, and that's the reason why we're here today, we are with 1,250 employees, very passionate and talented employees. We're active in 20 offices around the globe, 9 different countries across the globe. So that's Kinley.
Perfect. Thank you. And Ed, why don't you give us a 1 minute on AVMi, please?
Well, it sounds quite similar, I think. So AVMi are a global systems integrator and service provider. Our focus has always been on the service side of things. To give you an idea of that, we're coming up to nearly 600 people on our own before becoming part of Kinley. And probably over 200 of those are actually on site within big corporate customers running their audiovisual and multimedia services. So we're headquartered in the UK, in West London, Sunbury. We have other offices in the UK and Ireland, and also an office in New York, an office in Hong Kong, and we just recently opened an office in India. So very much the global expansion has been our strategy, and we look forward to doing this now under the Kinley banner.
Perfect. Excellent. So let's jump in. So Robbert, why is Kinley making this acquisition? Given the current COVID situation, it really seems kind of like a tough time to be making significant long-term investments, or maybe it's the best time. So give us some background on why we're making this acquisition here.
Yeah, well, for starters, we believe this industry will grow. And we will believe also that this industry will be more and more globalized. And because of that, we always are looking for opportunities. We're looking for strong brands, strong companies that can help us in serving more customers in more locations worldwide. And we thought AVMi was the perfect match for that. We started discussions already early December, so long before the COVID crisis started, because we thought it was the right strategic move. And during the COVID situation, the very unfortunate COVID situation, we just used our own technology for the right conversation amongst each other, and that worked perfectly.
So the discussions began before the COVID crisis, and you had the technology to complete all the discussions and negotiations during COVID. So it makes perfect sense. Now, Ed, AVMi is a highly successful AV integration firm. You're well respected. We've spoken to your clients before. What makes this a good time to be acquired? I mean, what opportunities does the connection and merger with Kinley bring to the table for you?
I think it's just worth reiterating Robert's point that we didn't actually intend to do this right in the middle of a global pandemic. The thing that drove us to start talking to each other back in December was really the globalization of the whole AV and VC space. We found that our big enterprise accounts more and more were pushing us to be in more and more territories, to be bigger, to be of a sufficient size that they could give us truly global, large, long-term contracts. And we've always felt that either you change or you stagnate. We felt that we wanted to take the next step up so that we could really compete on the international stage. And we've known Kinley First of all, when it was City IS, then when it was bought by VU, and then when VU merged with Visions Connected to become Kinley, and then adding MK2. We've known all those different companies through the course of time. And we've always felt that the culture, the people, the focus on service, and the ambition to grow was exactly the same as ours. And so at various different times over the years, we've had conversations about, shouldn't we do this together? And I think the way the market was globalizing, we thought, come on, let's just get on and do this. And yes, with COVID coming along, that gave us a few unexpected challenges. But I'm delighted to say we managed to get there. And the fact that we were using our own technologies to enable it, I think just tells its own story. We are in the right sector at the right time, where it'll be even more important to be a large, truly global player. So we think the timing is almost perfect. If the global pandemic could now end, that would be great. And then we're in a perfect position sort of going forwards.
It's an interesting situation, right? The customers need and expect a global footprint. But obviously, expertise requires local experience, local cultural understanding, local business presence. You can't just open an office and tomorrow afternoon be successful around the world. So, these kind of connections and mergers and acquisitions make perfect sense. Now, Robbert, what do you see happening in the reseller community overall? Do you think we're going to see more roll-ups and mergers and acquisitions, or do you think we're going to see some companies just step out of the business because they can't compete?
Well, we do see a trend of globalization, and we do see a trend that more and more technology is being used. And that's part is a reselling of technology, but also as Kinley, we invested a lot in our own technologies to differentiate ourselves, but more importantly, to help customers better. I think smart monitoring, our solution to serve customers online and to see the usage and to see the availability of the tool sets online. I think that's a typical technology service where we help customers better, but it also requires investments. And so it does also require scale to do that. So we expect the trend of globalization on the one hand and the trend of technology being used to continue. So from that perspective, it wouldn't be strange that more mergers and acquisitions would take place. And I think doing that is a very diligent process, because on the one hand, you want to have a globalized service. On the other hand, you want to be very close to your customers. You want to understand your customers. You want to understand the culture of the country and the culture of the company. So the reason why we're extremely happy to work together with the AVMi team is because of the cultures of the two companies are very much alike. But secondly, because of the local presence that both AVMi has in a couple of countries and we have, we're also very close to our customers. And that being close to your customers on the one hand and being able to deliver a global service on the other hand, I think that makes both AVMi and Kinley unique. So that's the reason why we thought, let's join forces.
Yeah, the need to centralize, I think, is going to drive a lot of additional acquisitions. You need to centralize and globalize to provide that value. Now, Ed, as an AV integrator, what changes have you seen in the marketplace in terms of the value add you offer your customers? I mean, it seems to me, as an analyst, I've watched AV integration firms change from technology complexity shops to service shops to others. So what have you changed in your business model over the last few years?
I think we've seen a change within our customers. So, I mean, this happened a while ago, so I'm sure you'll have heard it before, but very much the contacts within our customers have changed from being the local facilities or corporate real estate team to being the IT teams. And I think we all know why that is. It's because our devices are going on their networks, all the security issues come into play, and also all the sort of standards and processes really start to kick in when you're dealing with global IT. So we've seen the market change from when I started sort of much too long ago now, where literally you got the feeling that a big corporate, each office would do their own thing and look for their local supplier to come in and put up a couple of screens or projectors. We've seen it become much more of a centrally controlled by central IT and central procurement. And what they are looking for are standards and scale. So if you're dealing with the central procurement of a large bank, they don't want to give out global contracts to 50 different local suppliers. As you'll know, Ira, our strategy 10, 15 years ago was to partner with companies. So we formed the AV Global Alliance, Impact Marcom, who are part of us, were the founder of the GPA with Whitlock. And so we very much went down the partner model. But what we are finding is, whilst we still have, we actually now have over 90 partners worldwide, and we still use them for their local expertise, our global clients were saying, that's great, but we don't want to deal with 90 different partners. We want to deal with one company that's going to take ownership for it, that's going to oversee the implementation of the standards and the compliance to the quality levels they expect. And so we've subtly adopted our partnership model to being more of a hybrid. We'll have offices in the relevant time zones and the key commercial hubs, but still use the local expertise and local presence of partners. So again, teaming up with Kinley now gives us more of that local presence, more of our own feet on the street, but we still expect to use our local partners in all the countries where we don't have enough presence ourselves. So it's changed from facilities-led, using lots and lots of different suppliers, to procurement and IT-led, single supplier, big MSA type contracts, which just means we've seen the industry professionalize and I suppose become more like the IT industry has become over the last 20 years.
Isn't it interesting? There was a time when the ability to create custom, different, let's call them specific capability solutions was the skill set. Today, it's designing that global footprint and deploying it cost effectively, consistently, and supporting it. It's a totally different value proposition than 10 years ago for the channel. I agree with you 100%. Now, Robbert, there are literally thousands of AV integration firms out there. What specific synergies did you see when you started talking to AVMi? You mentioned culture, but for example, managed service or customer approach or expertise. What other synergies were there?
Well, I think our strategy has always been to help customers when they ask for a full solution of the hardware, the software, and the service combinedly, and do that across the globe more and more, helping that customer demand. And we look for a company that has shown customer excellence over the years, and doing that on a global footprint. And I think if we look at AVMi, I talk about the culture, and I think culture is extremely important if you want to join forces. But first and foremost, it's the quality of the management and the employees. 600 talented and passionate employees. I think that's invaluable. So that's the first thing that we looked at. And if we now look at the combination, I think one is the enterprise formula that Ed and his team has developed over the last 4 years, and just one formula helping customers across the globe. I think they are really the front runner in this market. So I think that's one thing that we want to also bring step by step to the current Kinley customers. And on the other hand, if you look at the technology investments that Kinley has done over the last years in the video cloud, the online monitoring service, but also a solution configurator. Like when you order a new car, you can order it exactly the way you want. That's something that we also enabled our own operation with. It's kind of a mass customization. And that kind of technology is typically something that we can bring to the big customers of AVMi. So those synergies were the reason why we thought AVMi was the perfect match. And that's also, we've been discussing this with the management teams for a couple of weeks. And we have informed our managers and employees last Thursday and Friday. And they were really thrilled because they thought, well, better together. Our phrase was better together. And I've been keeping that, they're hearing that over the last days, better together, better together. So that's something our employees feel.
Excellent. I mean, I can tell you from our perspective, we see an exceptional, let's call it managed services and collaboration firm connecting with an exceptional AV integration firm. It's a good match, and we're very pleased to hear about this acquisition. Now, Ed, last question here is, what will things look like for an AVMi customer 6 months from now? Do you think they'll see things that are completely different? How does a customer benefit from this acquisition?
I think our skill sets are complementary. We obviously have been speaking to our key enterprise accounts, in fact, all our major customers over the last 24 hours to bring them up to speed with this development. And I would say, without exception, our customers have been positive, because what they're seeing is, as you say, our sort of integration skills and our perhaps more traditional AV support services and on-site support services now being complemented by cloud-based services, unified communications capability, and track record. And we've had several large corporate customers say, brilliant. We now see not only can we give you our AV stuff, but we can talk to you about Teams, about Zoom, about all our sort of unified comms initiatives that are underway. And whilst AVMi had embarked on all these things already, I think certainly Kinley is much further down the track with developing their own tool sets and capabilities. So, I mean, a bit like yourself, Ira, I think our customers are seeing it the same way. They can keep using our AV skills, and now they've got a whole load of video and unified communication skills as well. So I've been very pleased with the response that our customers have given to this. And I think it is testament to sort of Kinley's reputation in the market that our customers are seeing this as such a positive.
Fantastic. So, gentlemen, congratulations on this acquisition. I think it's a fantastic play. We expect great things. And also, thank you very much for taking the time to meet with us today. I know that the news just went public this morning, so I'm sure you guys are very busy. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Great. Thank you,
Ira.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great day. This is Ira Weinstein with Recon Research. Take care.